The reason I went back to Murmansk was I had a friend killed. He was a chief petty officer. We call them chippies, we call them carpenters, but he was shipwrights who were very skilled men. And he was running along the deck and a bomb burst alongside in the water. And a bit of shrapnel went right through his tin hat and killed him. So I wanted to see his grave, but it was Murmansk was closed. The Russians couldn't get into it until 1980. And I was in a small group that went from Britain. They weren't all sailors. I was the only one from the convoys. There were people who wanted to see the Arctic winter. So we were in there in February, just to let them show what it was like in Murmansk. Minus 30 was this. The cold. It was getting chilly when that happened. And they have a very nice practice in Russia, I must tell you about that. In our country, when a girl gets married, she throws a wreath, not a wreath, throws her bouquet up in the air so that everybody gets a bit of the flowers, you see. But in Russia, they don't do that. They take it out to the war graves because nearly every city in Russia has war graves on it. And they put it on a tent of people that's been there. And I've seen them doing it. It's a very nice service. It doesn't matter whether they're British or my friend is buried in the Allied War Cemetery. It's the British and Allied War Cemetery. There's quite a lot of people there because ships were bombed and sunk in the Kola Inlet. And bombing was just part of life there. It was the same in Murmansk. They got bombed every day or every night, actually. But you had to get used to it. But the Russians have been very good to us. I mean, I was, three of us were asked to go to the big parade in Red Square in 2017. And we were seated just behind President Putin, which was an honor. And we were there all the time. And he gave his speech. And of course, we had sanctions against Russia, which was to spoil for Russia. And yet, he still paid credit for the boys that had sailed in the Russian convoys and brought help to Russia during their hour of need. It takes a big man to do that, especially when that same countries are trying to starve you out with sanctions. But that's never mentioned in the papers.